Welcome to my online coaching page. I'm just so excited, genuinely, after 35 plus years of training athletes in all walks of life and teams, etc., to be able to offer this to the general public is just very exciting for me because I generally do love coaching. It's just a real, genuine passion. So how it sort of works, and if we sort of agree to work with each other, because I only work with a very small group of people, and that's genuine. It's not a sales ploy. I'll never work with more than 10 clients at a time, and so we can keep the real quality of the training and also the bespokeness of it as well. So if you want to come on board, you can just go right to the bottom there. I think it goes into, like, how do you work with Phil? Obviously contact me if we think we're a good match. Let's sort of see what we can do. Then I'll send you then a very comprehensive online sort of questionnaire, which I want to find out all about your nutrition, your lifestyle, your supplementation, medical history, emotional sort of stability or instability, etc. And then it's from there, then I can help to start like looking at the nutritional program, your supplement program, and obviously then the training program. So once that comes in, I can start then also then sort of liaising with you on how often, obviously, can you train per week? What is your primary goal? Because that you need to know that so I can ensure that you achieve that primary goal. I mean, you could be a menopausal woman who simply wants to lose the excess fat that accumulates with the menopause, and you need to really be on your A game to know to lose that as well. Okay, so again, this is why we have regular Zoom check-ins then to ensure that we keep moving in the right direction. You could be a weekend warrior who simply wants to improve their sort of, the way they play football, play rugby or whatever. You could be a serious athlete. It doesn't really matter what your endeavor is. I'm thankfully very competent to ensure that we get there. And that was the good thing, having worked, for almost 4 decades at the highest level of sport. It challenges you so much to ensure you find all the answers. So once we sort of once I get your questionnaire in, etc., we have a Zoom chat. Then I can start then delivering the program. The program that I use, it's excellent. So I can write you programs. You'll have the programs coming through every week. There's lots of video demonstrations of me with athletes showing you how to do the actual exercises as well. So you really do it with correct form, because that's going to be the key to this. You can have 2 chefs with the same cake ingredients. One will make a nice cake, one will not make a nice cake. And the reason is it's just those little touches, okay? And that's what, I've sort of acquired over many decades. So even though I've worked with a lot of athletes in my time, that's allowed me, without sounding a dickhead, to become an elite coach, because you're exposed at the highest level of sport. If your methodology doesn't work, I can tell you now, whatever the sport, you're going to see it'll magnify that your methodology of training is not sufficient. So I've had the privilege of working with some great athletes. I've prepared athletes for Olympic Games. I've prepared boxers for world title fights. I've prepared, rugby teams for league title, cup finals, etc. And I could go on, but I don't want you to be fazed by that, because now today, 99% of the people who I advise are non-athletes. It's everyday Joe like myself, just want to be healthy. It's just great to have had the experience of working at the highest level, because it allowed me to become very knowledgeable in my field. So as I said, I don't want you to be phased, okay? So I do work with normal people, so I don't care who you are. If you're enthusiastic and you're really keen to achieve something, then it's game on as far as I'm concerned. I'm taking Eddie Hall through a rugby conditioning drill. And as I said, I've trained, this guy here was the oldest Olympic athlete in the 2012 Olympics, just an incredible guy. Spent a number of years training Amir, head consultant for Leicester Tigers, 2006. Prepared this guy for, I think he became world age masters and world triathlete champion. Some great rugby players. I was the first European strength coach to internship at Westside Barbell. I then went and wrote a book about it and went back multiple times. Learned just so much from there. You know, I've trained, you know, sort of female bodybuilders and Miss Fitnesses, etc. And, you know, and you can read some of the lists there. They're just a bit there. That's not to brag, because I think you've got to trust who's training you. I've had trainers coming from all over the world to intern me, and I went all over the world to intern with other trainers. You know, I mean, I was just so keen. I was so enthused with learning, you know, which I still am to this day. I'll never stop learning. This was an interesting case study. I never showed before and after pictures. I'm not one of those coaches. But the reason why I've shown this one is a number of reasons. First of all, that exactly was 28 days. She was an ex-international athlete herself. The reason why we had such great results in this was a combination of track work with resistance training. I was getting her ready for a Miss Fitness competition, and what that means is they have to do a number of events in the morning. I believe it was 800, 400, 200, and 100. They also had to do as many dips, sorry, it was press ups, I believe, and pull ups as they possibly can as well. And then in the evening, then it's the you know, it's who's got the best physique. And if I remember right, I believe that Melinda won that competition, but that was the transition. It was 28 days. But what was interesting in this was that we didn't realize, because we hadn't run the blood work, that she actually had breast cancer as well. That's why I'm such a big believer in blood work. And that's what I sort of really encourage a lot of my clients to get done if they really want to get results as well. So you can see there's a trained Nina, who's an IFPA pro figure athlete, sort of consulted for Martin Ford, you know, sort of just a man monster. As I mentioned, you know, I was mentioned in Westside Barbell in Louis' autobiography. If you don't know Louis, he's the godfather of strength training. You know, there's some videos there of me training, you know, an ex-professional rugby player. I used to train the London Harlequins. This is a professional footballer. This is the world's strongest man, 2017, Eddie Hall. I'm sort of consulting for a group of trainers that come, again, from all over the world to sort of intern with me. But the bottom line is, I can go on about that, is what's in it for you. And I think that probably the most interesting thing I can say for that is, if you get everything right, my aim really is to, no matter how old you are, what your goal is, to get you healthier, to get you stronger, and to get you leaner. Okay, and everything else will follow through on that. So if you're really interested in coming on board, then get in touch with me, and the journey will begin. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as I'll enjoy taking you through. And if you get the opportunity, if you're in the UK, you're more than welcome to come over. I live in Malvern near Worcester, and I'll personally take you through a session as well to ensure, you know, you sort of, you know, really understand what it's like to be in the trenches. Okay, that'll do for now. If you're interested, please get hold of me, and I look forward to training you.